the audience here in the auditorium? Questions or comments? Do you see any questions?
Thank you.
Questions or comments?
What does everybody think of?
You know much of the content that would be our and I'm asking that because I'm the Department of Health and Safety, and he mentioned 3,000 people. And OSHA for the last 50 years developed a standard for having specifics.
Thank you. The question is there any information about the college athletes Bill of Rights in terms of any other items that might be a part of that bill? And I think the answer is that from what the senator said, this bill is going to be revealed in the spring with Senator Blumenthal. So I don't think we have that information yet. He mentioned some other points about in what he said this morning, but that the bill has not been released yet.
I would add that the NATA has a condition that athletic trainers followed, that they were undergoing, or they were providing here at the level of best practice. One thing that I would add is that unfortunately there are trainers at each institution, and so it is entirely possible that those 30 or happens happening where they not have an appropriate level or appropriate number of athletic trainers.
So Jerry in our audience is a part of the NATA. And would you come up and give us your commentary? Because I think that's important for the audience, the virtual audience to hear as well. Jerry's coming up.
Hello. What I was mentioning, I thought I was speaking loud enough so everyone could hear me, but what I was saying is there is an NATA position statement on appropriate handling for heat-related illness at the collegiate level, and there's also one for the high school patient. But I would imagine that the heat-related illnesses and deaths that were mentioned by Senator Booker were occurring at institutions where they were not able to field appropriate number of sportsmen or athletic trainers or appropriate medical coverage for intercollegiate athletics. That speaks to my previous point about making sure that we have a bare minimum number of health-related or health providers, i.e. athletic trainers, that are hired by each institution, whether it's at the Division I level, the Division II level, or the Division III level. I happen to be at the University of Alabama, and you can't swing a dead cat without hitting an athletic trainer. But that is much different than my experience from my time at Savannah State University, which at the time was a football championship level athletics department. They have now transitioned back down to Division II. So I had 18 intercollegiate sports. I had 2 staff athletic trainers. I had 2 entry-level athletic trainers. I had no students. So that's a glimpse into what I'm talking about when I'm saying institutions have to hire appropriate number of athletic trainers, and they have to hire them and pay them what they have earned and what they deserve, which is not almost making a living. These people assume liability. These people assume risk. We are highly educated. We have 85% of us have master's degrees. That's, if you want to talk about affecting change on health and safety for intercollegiate student athletes, it starts and it stops with the athletic trainer, and we need institutional support to be able to do it. The way institutions will support athletic trainers is when the NCAA mandates that it must have this number for this number of student athletes.
Thank you, Jerry. Mark from the University of Houston has made a comment that I would like to share with you. Mark says that he hopes that student athletes are not being cast out after playing, as the Senator Booker mentioned. Mark also recommends that we interview students when they are ready to graduate to make sure that their interests have been taken care of. So thank you, Mark, for that comment. Yes, we have another question from the audience.
Excuse me, not a question, just a comment. No one has seen the new legislation that Senator Booker is drafting and rolling out yet. I'm looking at the version from 2021.
Do you want to come up and make your comment?
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, my comment, I'm Greg Gardner. I'm at the University of Tulsa. My comment was in reading through the 2021 version of Senator Booker's legislation, while we haven't seen the new stuff he's crafting, and more power to him on this, full speed ahead. In looking at the 2021 version, there is no mention of athletic trainers, of the infrastructure that needs to be in place. And I would concur with Jerry, not to be a broken record here. If we're not involving the National Athletic Trainers Association, what they have in place for best practices and athletic trainers in this legislation, it's tragically amiss. It's just falling short of the mark. While I applaud Senator Booker's efforts, if it's really going to make an impact on well-being, it needs to involve the NATA. Thanks.
Are there any other comments or questions? So at this time, we're going to have a 15-minute break, and we'll convene at 10 o'clock.